Hey guys, Mike here from Rust Brothers. Just giving you a heads up, auction day is getting closer. It's less of the month. So April 12th, you can either be here, bid in person, you can go online, egauctions.com, check it out. There's gonna be 70 or 80 of my favorite projects that I've saved all these years. Some of them, a lot of Dodges, some Chevys, a few Fords even, some Pontiacs, something to float everybody's boat. The whole crew's gonna be here, Avery's gonna be here, Blair's gonna be here, even your favorite cameraman, Matt, is gonna be here. So come and check it out, April 12th.
Today, chopping out the rear support so I can rebuild an inner, and hopefully then I can install the frame rail. So I've done some drilling. Now I'm going to do some air chiseling. And I yacked at Mike this morning. Now he says he thinks he's going to keep this car. That's a drag. Don't know if I'm real pleased about that. Which of course doesn't matter. So we'll see what happens. If he's keeping this, I should probably be working on something else to get it ready for the sale. But anyhow, here we go. I gotta just round up a couple more tools, and then we'll start chopping out that brace that goes from the outside rocker to the tunnel. And once that's off, I can start rebuilding the inner so I can attach the frame rail, which is my priority right now. Okay, we are about ready. I'm going to zip cut along this edge, and then I'm going to pop those holes that I've already pre-drilled. Hoping that works. So, crude but effective. This is the inside. It's actually in good shape. It sits there. The reason I took it out is the frame rail comes up to here. So I'm going to go back now and clean up the back end. You can see through the hole in the trunk. And I'm going to get that ready so I can tack the frame rail at the back where it belongs. And I'll come up front here and I'll put a bracket in just to hold it where it belongs. And I'm going to hang the frame rail, and then I'm going to build the inner. I find that's going to be way easier. It'll be a perfect fit. So I'll go to the back end, tack it, and then I'll start rebuilding this. There's 3 layers, frame rail, 16 gauge doubled up support, and then the floor pan. So I want that to fit perfectly, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'll go back there in the trunk. Okay, we're gonna use the belt and clean up some of these spout welds. Good start. What do we got? This is the hair on the long side. Yeah. I'll trim the back edge just a bit. Okay, this goes in underneath. And the frame rail welds underneath it. And this goes in over top. And it needs another 1/4 inch of trim. Yep. Let's see where we're at. Oh, right. That front flange has to be trimmed to fit. Pardon me? Just right here. Right here more. Okay, that's the fit I wanted. I've got to trim this trunk floor pan a bit more. The new pan I have fits up against this. I'll probably cut this up and weld it right on the crown. I've got to punch spot weld holes here. And then this piece sits right there. So I've got to drill holes to spot weld it down to this plate. And I'm debating, I could put this in first. I could put this in, put in my frame rail first. I'll hold it in place. This sits down on top of it. So I drill holes to weld this to the frame. I'm surprised there's no spot welds on the side, and there never has been, to that step down from the trunk. So anyhow, I can work my way up from the frame rail. I will just do my little bit more of trimming here, because I want to know once the frame rail is in place, I drop this on top of it, I set that in, everything's pre-fit, and we're good. Yeah, so I got to get a felt, some marks, and then I'm going to clean this all up. I'll use my galvanized spray on it. I'll mark where I'm drilling holes, and next when I come back we'll be fitting up that frame rail. Alright, so this piece cleaned up really good. I pre-drilled my holes that go above the frame. I'm going to grind the back side a little bit. And this piece is fit, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go underneath, hold this up where it belongs, and then I can mark where this sits. Well, actually I can do that from up here. Well, no I can't. And then I'm going to mark where I got to drill spot welds in this piece. Yeah. Nope, I'll do that afterwards once the frame rail is tacked in place. Yep. Okay. So pull this. Go basically where we want it. I just have to mark a couple of reliefs in my cutout over here. And I will find my felt pen. Ta-da! Imagine that. Okay, so this has got to be cut up. Well, we're going to do that pretty accurately. And this needs relief. This needs relief. And we need this Okay. And here we are. Hard to believe. Okay. Now, look at that. Okay, perfect fit. So, I got to grind in here a little bit. Do a little tapping. I have now set this into place, the frame rail. I've drilled the back end where I'm going to weld it on so I can spot weld it. The front end, I've kind of haywired it up where it belongs. So that's where it needs to be. So from down here, it's not that big a deal. I mean, I measure from my inner rocker, which has no damage, to the frame rail. I measure my floor height in relation to what's in front of it. So they're both identical. It's so nice having the one over there to compare to. I measure my distance here from the brake to the frame rail. There's all kinds of places you can measure, and you do measure from every place you can think of. It's kind of critical. It's a frame rail. So this is setting in place. What I'm going to do is it does come in contact with the floor here. So I'm going to weld the back and I'm going to tack up front. And once that's secure, I'm going to come around front and I'm going to start building my way up and out. So this is tied in to a solid floor again. That's going to take a bit of time, but it's not a big deal. I may put a piece of 1 inch or angle across here because I might do some hammering in here. So if I have to do that, I'll come over here and I'll go over to the other frame rail. And that'll secure it so I can beat on it and push it around. In fact, you know, that's a hell of a good idea. That's what I'm going to do. So I will go find some 1x2 or something similar, and I'm going to get this sitting up where I want it. I mean, right now it's where it's supposed to be, against the old floor. I think I will first go and tack the back end, just so that quits moving around on me. And then I'll put a piece of 1x2 across underneath, or 1x1, something to hold it in place so I can get aggressive and get the front fabbed up above the frame rail so it's tied into the car. Because again, I get body mounts this afternoon, hopefully, and that front frame goes in. Might be a late night. It's really important I get that done. So here I've got my height, and again I've fit these pieces. Everything looks right. I've measured side to side. So it's looking pretty good. I have just a couple more. As always, I'm going to measure from this lip over and do the same on the other side. You can't measure enough. I mean, heck, you can wear out a tape measure. They're cheap. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, man. Okay, I've got this frame rail welded in. Now I'm going to go up front and show you how I'm going to brace the front end and repair it. Okay, I'm going to show you the cool stuff. Oh! Okay, so I have jumped ahead a little bit. You see this piece of 1x2? I put it down and measured up to the rocker. Over here, up to the rocker. So I've got it tacked here and here. I'm gonna tack it a little better where I can get at it with the grinder. I'm gonna flatten the steel out and put this over here. So it's gonna be tied into that rocker and it can't move. So that side of the frame rail and this rocker is gonna hold this frame rail in place while I'm putting steel in on top of it. So first is a 16 gauge transition piece between the frame rail and the floor, which I also have to build. I just can't get one before the auction. So this is what I'm up to. This won't take long here. I might just lay this thing flat. Yeah, we'll see. Anyhow, that's what I'm doing. So now I can go up top and start building my way up. And then that would tie the front end to the main structure of the car and the rocker. And then I can pick it up by the back end and haul it over to the 4-post. But we'll just see how far I get. So far, it's rough cut. Yeah, so I can take this off now. Here, and it goes over to the side of the floor, so it's under here. It's supposed to be broke down and go in, so I still got to do that, but and then once this piece is in and it gets welded to the frame rail, there's a piece that rolls down and comes underneath the floor. So if I get that laid in, it goes over to about here and ties in. That's all nice structure, but it's sitting out there and it's only tied into the rocker. So then I'm gonna chop out this part of the floor, make a new section, and it welds down on top of this inner I'm making right now, and that ties us all together. This eventually goes over top, which is a lot of structure, but it can't go in until I build a new floor back here. So I've got a lot of stuff to deal with here, and it's going to be interesting, but it's got to be quick too. So I think this underfloor, guess I'll take this off. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to zip cut this off, because it's in my way. You can see some of this bottom piece right here. So that's what I got to replicate. It's kind of cool. This is a bit of a chore. I'm hoping it goes well. So I'm going to ignore all this because this inner brace only comes over as far as here. So I'm going to chop that out. Now I got to get my other tools here. Okay. Wow, that metal's in pretty good shape. I know that seemed pretty silly, but when you look at all the different bends in it, if I zip cut this back clean and I get rid of some of this junk, then I just got to go from here over. And this piece is angled a bit. I'll look at the other side to double check. So I got to get my little die grinder and my air line up here. And we should carry on. Cool. Now we gotta blast off some of this old floorboard. Oh man, my arm is killing me. Oh, okay. Even I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. This is how you find out. Start on it and see where it takes you. Okay, I gotta come, this piece ends right where I zip cut the bottom piece, so I could make a piece that goes over to here and starts to angle up. And then I can trim it around to fit here. That's probably my best bet. So I need a piece about 12.5 inches long, and it's got to go from here and it's got to crawl up there. So by 6, so 12.5 by 6. I'm gonna go find something round to bend this over. It'll start to make more sense. Okay. Not super pretty. Didn't bother showing you all the gory details. But frame rails attached to this, which is attached to the rocker. Now I'm considering whether to make a floor pan that sits up over top of this. The back floor pan comes up. There's part of the back floor pan that I have to make. So I'd make it in 2 sections. One that comes down flat here, and then I would make that one separately because it's really easy to do it that way. And I'd just do my seam right above the frame so no one sees it from down below. No grinding. Some of it misses the frame. Anyhow, that's what I'm suggesting to the suggestible listener. That's taking some time. I didn't bother showing you. It's just a bunch of small little pieces, hammered, beat on, weld, grind. But you know, it freaking works. So now I have to prep so that when I'm done, this fits. that ties it all back together. And there would be ways to cheat that, but I'm not going to do that. So, I might do this piece of floor here, tie it into that. I mean, I got to do it all. I can't walk away from this until this is tied into that, and at least this half of my floor is done in the back. Then I'll feel comfortable that it's tied together. So, what first? It's hard to do this piece until I put my fender well in. So now the debate, do I put my fender well in first? Don't really want to, because I gotta carry this on. Yeah, who knows? It's all getting a little confusing. I think I'll go see if I can find something similar to this. If not, I'll just make a new one. Okay, so what's going on here? I'm trying to get this dialed in. So from here, you gotta start angling up. And actually, changes a bit. It's kind of like this. Oh, that's a good felt marker, eh? That and that. Yeah, actually about here. Okay, well, we'll do some cutting and fitting. That's the idea. It lines up with these ones. I'll trim this back a little bit so all my welding is above this floor brace. Yeah, works out pretty nice. Almost there. Yeah, I better get after this. So this is pretty much welded in. At least it's stable. Got my grooves in. I got to finish welding here and do some low spots. But I got it close. So now, more of this can go in, which goes right there. I've got to build this piece and that piece. But I got to think about that a little bit, because I may want to put in that inner wheel right there. But I haven't quite decided. But pretty happy with how that went. This has gone pretty good, and I wanted to do more on the floor. But you know, I've got it tacked in at the bulkhead, The frame rail, you can see a couple tacks there to the floor and the bulkhead. This is tied into the rocker now. You know, it's pretty good. The weight of this car to pick up the back end with the skid steer and move it to the 4-post isn't much weight. I'm feeling confident. So what I want to do now before the day is over is I'm going to lower the car down and try to bolt in this front suspension. So that's what I'm going to get up to right now. It's like it needs an alignment or something. Okay. So here's my point up here, and that's got to hook up to these body mounts. Okay, we're gonna lower the body down so we get a little bit closer. Look out, honey. Look out. Yeah, get up. Go lay down. Okay, this particular bolt kit, thanks to Blair, comes with directions and bolts. So, position 2 and 3. Let's open it up. And a ginormous bolt. Yes. It's just that easy, folks. Perfect. So, it would appear I'm going to have to get a floor jack. Don't know if I can get the body down low enough. I'll try a little more, and I'm going to put a block underneath the tail of the frame to get it level. Fair for now. Now this means tomorrow, if I can find an operator, I'm going to be able to pick this up by the trunk support and move it onto the 4-post hoist. That has always been the plan. So, I got my floor parts done. This is bolted in. You can see how easy that is. Cassidy had a freaking nice day. She got the one door complete. Finished off that bottom patch, beautiful. Then she did a bunch of the hard stuff for me. Really nice patch there and there. She didn't have enough time to get her all beat because she was working on the Chevelle too. But there's my frame rail, welded in at the back, right where it's supposed to be. Come a long way. So tiny little panels with all the grooves and bends. It takes so much time. Anyhow, been a great freaking day.